Whitney, I am so glad you're still here.
So did Gwen and Ethan believe that Chuck was really your boyfriend?
It was a miracle. I was this close to confessing that there was never anyone for me but Ethan when Chuck appeared out of thin air and gave the most incredible performance.
Well, what can I tell you? Move over, Johnny Depp.
He was so convincing, I almost thought he was my boyfriend.
Thank you so much, Chuck. I really appreciate it. I know it's kind of a weird thing for me to ask.
Anything for my favorite doubles partner, Whitney. Besides, I can think of a lot tougher jobs than playing Romeo to her Juliet. If you ever get this guy Ethan out of your system, let me know.
Don't I wish. I wouldn't count on it, Chuck. She's ridiculously obsessed.
I am not obsessed, Whitney. I am in love. Besides, I can't get Ethan out of my system because he finally realizes that I'm telling the truth all along.
What about Gwen? She's the one we need to convince.
I'm not sure she bought it, but if Ethan did, what can she do? I'm home free.
I'll be right back. I've just got to call my coach, find out when we're leaving for this tennis tournament we've got tomorrow.
I just wish Chuck could have shown up 5 minutes earlier. Then I wouldn't have had to hear Ethan accuse me of lying to him. That was the worst moment of my entire life.
How can you have the nerve to complain when you just escaped certain death?
Yes, you're right, you're right. Fate has handed me the most wonderful opportunity of my life.
Fate? It was me. Once again. I mean, come on.
Oh, and I can't thank you enough. And now that I've got Chuck to drool all over me, I can make Ethan jealous.
Teresa.
And it shouldn't take any time at all before Gwen loses it. Then Ethan will see her for the possessive shrew she really is.
So, why don't we all sit down?
Oh, I wish we could, but Chuck's got to make it an early night, so we better get going.
Oh, well, I'm sure you don't have to leave just this second.
Gwen.
I mean, there's so many things I'd love to know about you. Like, where'd you two meet?
Lighthouse Park.
So Theresa says school and you say the park. Which is it, Chuck?
Both. Well, you see, I first noticed Chuck at school. He was a couple grades ahead of me, so he didn't even know I existed. But the first time Chuck noticed me was at the park.
There, you see? While you two are getting acquainted, I just tell Theresa something.
Oh, but...
I'll be right back. I wanted to say thank you.
For what?
Well, for getting Chuck to show up so Gwen could meet him.
Oh, I'm just glad he could make it.
I'm not surprised. I'm sure you're pretty tired of Gwen accusing you of not having a boyfriend.
It hasn't been much fun for any of us.
No, but thanks to you, it's almost over. I mean, now that Gwen's finally seen your boyfriend with her own eyes, she'll accept my marriage proposal.
Oh, Ethan, you don't have to thank me for that.
No, why not? I mean, if it weren't for you, who knows what my future might be?
I just don't believe any of us control our destinies. It's all in the hands of fate.
Hey, Ethan, listen to this. I mean, Chuck's been dating Theresa for a while now, and he doesn't even know the name of her older brother. I find that rather odd, don't you? Could you possibly be Theresa's boyfriend and not know the name of her older brother?
Well, you see, the reason Chuck doesn't know my brother's name is because Luis is very strict with me. He would go crazy if he found out I was dating anyone seriously. So I've never introduced them.
You know that's true, Gwen. I mean, that's why Theresa's never told her brother that she works for my mother.
And I would appreciate if you wouldn't blow the whistle on me and tell him yourself.
You have our word.
Thank you, Ethan. Yeah, if that's all, Gwen.
I could swear I know you from somewhere.
I don't think so. I'd remember.
Maybe it was on television. You wouldn't happen to be an actor, would you?
Hardly.
Then what do you do for a living? Unless Theresa pays you to pose as her boyfriend.
That's a good one. As if Theresa would have to pay any guy to go out with her.
Well, of course it was a joke.
Not a really funny one either, Gwen.
The truth is, I don't have a paying job. I've been very fortunate in that my family's done quite well.
Don't tell me you live off a substantial trust fund.
Actually, I do. My great-grandfather invented the paperclip.
I don't think so. It just so happens that my great-grandfather was very close friends with the inventor. I used to hear stories about him when I was growing up. His name is Charles Wilson.
Yes, I'm named for him. They call me Chuck for short.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope I haven't offended you.
Not at all. Well, I really do have to go. Coming, Angel?
Actually, I changed my mind. Whitney's still here, so I think I'll stick around for a while.
You sure?
Yes, sweetheart.
Well, Gwen and I are heading out ourselves. It was nice meeting you, Chuck.
Pleasure's all mine. Good night, Gwen.
Night, Chuck.
Good night. Thank you for putting up with all of Gwen's obnoxious questions, Chuck.
Glad I could be of help.
And how did you ever come up with that crazy story about your great-grandfather inventing the paperclip?
Easy. He did. The stapler, too. Oh, I gotta go. See you on the courts next week, Whitney.
I owe you, Chuck, big time.
Bye.
What is it?
Ethan and Gwen, he's kissing her.
He loves her, Theresa.
He only thinks he does because he hasn't realized he's in love with me. She may have him now, but I'm gonna have him forever.